Energy, among all other kinds of human activity, has the most powerful influence on our life. Electricity consumption in residential sectors such as heat, cooling and light in houses, also for transportation sector and industrial activities, all those sectors demand energy in an increasing mode. Human civilization is dynamic, and any progressive development requires usage of huge amounts of energy at first place. The strength of nations is measured on its level of energy consumption index per capita. The availability of the required energy has been in discussion for a long time and shall be in case always. Even at times of World War II, the theory was popular that combating sides countries of triple axis against anti-Hitler coalition would inevitably consume the whole world's reserves of fossil fuel, but it did not happen. King Hubbard, American geophysicist scientist, had predicted as long ago as in the middle 50s that oil output at the USA continent will reach its peak between 1965 and 1970s, and that global output would have reached its peak in 2000. In fact, oil output in USA had reached its maximum in 1971 and decreases from that time incessantly. However, global output in 2000 hadn't reached its peak, but probably it's only a deferment. Hubbard's theory did not account for the oil embargo from OPEC countries at 1973 and 1979, which had decreased global oil consumption and delayed the estimate of the peak production of oil. His estimate of the newly discovered hydrocarbon reserve is not accurate. However, in lieu of current global economical crisis, oil-exporting countries again and again had reduced its production of the black gold. Some analysts indicate that such a reduction in the production was attributed to the lack of availability of resources rather than supporting the oil price level as claimed publicly by producing nations. This deficit finally became the main reason of energy crisis, and then production capacity had never been higher. Number of studies has indicated that the total hydrocarbon reserve will be totally consumed at 50-70 years, that is, even if the new deposits will be discovered. Also, final cost of exploration and finding will be rising considerably. Accordingly, alternative energy sources such as renewable energy and their relevant new technologies ought to be availed and gain utmost importance. For example, somehow specialists rarely mention about natural gas losses during its production, transportation, vessels filling and consumption. But in reality, the losses volume of gases are extremely high. If one may say that such volume can be calculated, it is a fact that the gas losses during production, gas flaring and the gas emission to the atmosphere are huge and not measurable. One more problem exists in gas treatment industry, whereby gas booster stations used for gas transportation via the pipeline network, and according to Gazprom confirmation, gas losses in such process is estimated to be 836 million of gigajoules, is 15 times the gas consumed for heating in Russia. Russia is one of leaders exporting of hydrocarbon oil, gas and petroleum products, but let's have a look at the amount of losses occurring at production and transporting of natural gas. During extraction of gas, low-pressure gas is usually vented into the atmosphere. Application of our units allows to utilize 100% of the gases, preventing any losses even for low-pressure gases. What concerns gas transportation by railway and ship carriers, we know rather well that, due to absence of thermostat sets controls at summer periods, about 25% of transferred volume is lost. Let's take as example wagon cistern for transportation of propane-butane mixture by railway at summer and check financial losses and economical parameters of gas transportation. Cistern is filled at 85 to 87% of its volume. Gas inside tank is heated at hot weather, expanded and then vented through safety valve. Volume of vented gas is about 20% from total in tank. The same occurs during storage of propane-butane mixture at gas storages and booster stations. Our technology allows to collect such lost gases, which will result in reducing the total cost of gas to the consumers. According to professional studies, method applied and invented by Novacia company using heating process is capable to raise effectiveness of gas utilization indexes at least by 25%. The technology results to a considerable reduction of gas losses during production, treatment and storage, and improves transfer efficiency, which will lead to cost saving for the consumers. In addition, such technology will have a positive impact on the environment due to less gas emission to the atmosphere. As a base of the function of the thermoelectric set for heat treatment of hydrocarbon gases, the thermoelectric effect principle is applied, which excludes the utilization of chlorine carbons, more known as freon gas. Semiconductor material is used as coolant media, which is harmless for environment, human health, and genetic status for the living creatures during all stages of treatment, such as testing, storage, transportation, usage, and building of unit. We can say with confidence that application of Peltier-Seebeck thermoelectrical effect became one of the most important milestone, bread and butter, in the production of Novacia company. Rather long period, Novation Company collaborates effectively with Kuwait enterprise Geotech Environmental Services headed by Mr. Musab Ahmad Bazri Al Yassin. Mr. Al Yassin was born in 1954. At the 70s, was educated in the USA, where had graduated from the Faculty of Oil Gas Engineering at Pennsylvania State University. In 1977 till 1991, Musab Ahmad Bazri Al Yassin had worked as employee of Kuwait Oil Company, and from 1991 till now takes the lead of chain of companies. One of activity is the fields of energy and environment protection at Middle East countries. In December 2009, Silicon Energy Limited, a Cayman Island company, is established with an ownership between Dr. Georgi Monasterli and Mr. Musab Al Yassin on a 50-by-50 basis. Silicon Energy Limited's main function is to enable the proper implementation of the technologies owned by Dr. Georgi Monasterli and Mr. Musab Al Yassin to produce viable commercial products such as thermal electric generators, refineries, air conditioning units, and so on. Silicon Energy Limited will be the vehicle to acquire the commercial benefits from those initiatives. It will perform all marketing efforts, acquire the raw materials, and conduct all manufacturing activities through award of licenses, joint ventures, or any other suitable form. Silicon Energy Limited will maintain the ownership of the manufacturing rights, trademarks, and exclusive ownership of the technological products prior sales. On the 18th of January 2010, Silicon Energy Limited signed a service agreement with Geotech Petroleum Services Company, Free Zone WLL, in Egypt, authorizing it to build and manufacture the technological products owned 100% by Silicon Energy Limited. Geotech Petroleum Services Company has already started building a factory in Egypt to manufacture all technological products based on revenue sharing on the sales. Such cooperation is considered as one of various models for future initiatives to be considered by Silicon Energy Limited in a timely manner and as shall be agreed mutually between Dr. Monasterli and Mr. Al Yassin. In nearest future, we are planning in cooperation and mutual authorship between Musab Al Yassin with Georgi Monasterli to register those inventions, patents in Kuwait and other Arabic countries. Company Innovation in Kuwait Geotech Company is a noble example of cooperation to address the energy and environment issues. A refinery is intended for producing commercial products inside, such as petrols of 92, 95, and 98 octane, kerosene TCI for jets, diesel fuel Arctic and summer, also fuel oil, asphalt, bitumen, light gas fractions, paraffin, and sulfur. Refinery is equipped by all necessary devices for monitoring of raw materials and final production, flow meters, thermal transducers, pressure sensors, and power drives. All that gauges and pumping equipment are connected with control panel of automation control system. In that product, thermal electric generator, such interesting phenomenon named cavitation is used. Cavitation is a formation in fluid of so-called caverns or cavitation bubbles filled by gas, steam, or their mixture. That phenomenon appeared as a result of in situ reduction of the fluid pressure, which may occur whether at rising of fluid speed or as it is subjected to high-intensity acoustic wave. For a long time, cavitation was considered as ultimately undesired phenomenon because it initiates destruction of vessels, screw propellers, actuating devices of pumps and hydro turbines, creates noises and vibration. However, by the time, the useful application of that event was discovered. In industry, cavitation began being used for paint mixing and in devices for cleaning of contaminated surfaces. Navy forces received super cavitation torpedoes capable to move underwater with speed of 350 km per hour. Now in medicine, lithotrapsy is practiced for the destruction of stones in gallbladder and urinary bladder using cavitation effect. The same thermoelectric effect is laid into base of modular complex for seawater desalination. Problem of potable water availability is nowadays very known one. Our modular processing complex allows not only to obtain desalted water but to extract fractions of valuable products contained in seawater. In the process, the following salt substances are extracted: magnesium carbonate industrial, food sodium chloride, and mineral fertilizers. Overall dimensions of desalination unit with output of 10 tons per hour don't exceed size of a sedan car. The set is intended for continuous all-day maintenance in hot climate with outside temperature up to 65 degrees Celsius. It is capable to continue to be operational even after reaching a temperature of plus 85 degrees Celsius. Well protected against dust and moisture, and surface temperature of the unit is equal to outside temperature. Desalination unit can work independently or integrated with other set of processing equipment used in food, agriculture, oil and gas branches, and for common use. Power supply is from three-phase source and the consumption is not more 40 kW and the output not less 10 ton of water per hour.